Relax, Lambert.
I confessed all just before we pledged to marry one another. Began a new life that day, with a clean slate.
I don't know if that's how that works, dude.
Remember Aiden? A witcher. Murdered in Elander. Guessing the killers were paid well.
I remember him as I remember all the others, with the deepest regret. Yet Aiden was different in a way. Contrary to rumor, we did not set out to kill him. We were forced to when he attacked us.
Alright, I'll hear it.
What's your version of this story?
Aiden had accepted a contract to lift the curse from the Duke's daughter. He took the coin, bungled the job, then left, once the girl passed on.
You lie.
We were not to kill him, we were debt collectors. He'd spent the coin already, so we demanded his swords. When he refused, tempers flared. Vienne, positioned as a sniper, lost her nerve. Hit Aiden square in the eye. Later, she devised her own version of the story. To silence her guilt, I expect.
Ooh, interesting. I don't think he's lying. Like, I think he's being honest. So the elf who was a drunken wreck that we found, who says she can't remember what happened, was the one who killed the Witcher. And the Witcher... Like, I'm pretty sure this guy's being honest.
I've heard enough.
What now?
Lambert, dude. Like, oh, man. Lambert, I know you want revenge, but this guy isn't who you want.
We need to leave him alone, Lambert. Come on.
I'm not going anywhere. I came to kill this bastard.
He didn't do it. It wasn't him.
Leave him. Let's go.
You off your fucking nut?
Lambert, this is one of those situations when you have to realize you're pissed as hell, rein it in, and trust your cool-headed friend. Let's go.
For fuck's sake, Geralt. Don't know that I'll be able to forgive you.
I said let's go. You can always come back.
Yeah, like...
Thank you.
Like, he seems like he's a good dude. Seems like he's a
Explain
good dude.
yourself.
Don't intend to. Just felt Carradine didn't deserve to be murdered in cold blood. If you feel otherwise, you can always go back. Without me.
I feel like beating the shit out of you.
Understandable.
See you later. Someday.
So long, Lambert.
You don't want to go after the elf? You don't want to go after the elf chick? Who actually killed your friend?
Can we talk?
What about?
What? That's what we're here
You
for.
haven't changed a lick.
That disappointment I hear?
No. Surprise, maybe. Most grow gentler with age. Seems you're growing pricklier.
Mom always said I was different.
Had some other adjectives in mind, but different'll do.
If you had chosen the line he'd changed, Lambert wouldn't be mad. Oh, well.
Ever play Gwent?
Of course. Even tried to teach Vesemir, but turned out he's just mule-headed. Why do you ask? Up for a quick hand?
As long as he doesn't kill the dude.
Am I? Have you crying like a baby by the time I'm through with you?
Yo, let's go! I actually want to take some cards out of my deck right now, because this deck's a little bloated. Oh wait, no. I can only take one card out. I'd have to get rid of like all of my decoys and stuff. Let's boogie! Like, I sympathize with him, but he's aiming his rifle at the wrong dude, man. Oh. Damn it. Knew I should have gotten rid of the horn. We're going for that wombo combo. We'll actually see. Wow, he started with a Scorch? Oh, okay. Alright, dude, chill. Any idea what Victor's fourth job will be? I think Saltspire's fourth job is probably going to be Warrior Priest. I am personally expecting Warrior Priest. Steam tank driver. Choop choop. It's such a great. That entire quest is so much fun. The Vermintide, when they all get drunk off their asses. Ah, things are getting interesting. Or just Madman? Well, he already has Fanatic as a career. I feel like the difference between Madman and Fanatic is pretty narrow. My turn. Ba-dum, ba-dum. What you got, son? Pass? That's what I thought. Boy, my healer. Art Collector Saltspire? That'd be pretty awesome, not gonna lie. Charlie Turtle, yes, I am keenly aware of those channels. I follow their work closely. Some might say I'm a big fan myself. Bronyu, it cycles. They bring it back every year. Usually multiple times per year. Wow, Lambert's deck absolutely sucked. Wow. Like, it's usually available every good once in a while. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, people in chat are saying there's a mod.
Can't believe I gotta give up my unique card. Better your hands than someone else's, I guess.
Oh, we got the Triss card! Very cool. Alright, we have finished the Look for Old Friends quest. Awesome. Oh my god, I got crap I gotta sell. We need to go see our elf buddy.
A deserter from the Sky Camp.
Won't find any better. From the Yaruga to the Dragon Mountains.
Do I think the dwarf golems will be added? Yes. The runic guardians? I absolutely believe they will be added, yes. Rune golems, runic guardians, whatever you want to call them.
Mages have set the hunter's house aflame. They seek to murder.
I think you will 100% see them in the game. Yes, indeedy.
Goodness. It's all so good.
How do I think they'll be added in a dwarf DLC? Because I honestly think the dwarves could get like a good 2... Whoops. Oh, no, wait. I think they could absolutely get a good like 2 Lord packs. I want a Lord pack centered around engineering, and I want a Lord pack centered around Like ancient technology, or like ancient technology and abilities. Oh, this isn't where I want to be at all. I want to be there. Maybe? What? Hold on. Let me go to daytime. That'll make it a little bit easier to figure out what the hell I'm trying to go. Yeah, I would do what units are missing. So here's what I would do for dwarfs, right? For dwarfs, the 2 legendary lords we need are Joseph Bugman and... I can tell I'm tired. I'm struggling to remember people's names. Joseph Bugman and the engineer character. Okay, great. They'll come to me.
Get a bonus for working this poor weather.
John Stewart, no. Grim Burlickson, thank you. Yes, Grim Burlickson. So, Grim Burlickson and Joseph Bugman would be your legendary lords. And then outside of them would be... I would do... So... Joseph Bugman, I would have associated with, like, unlocking the ancient knowledge and technology of the dwarves, because he's kind of like a... He's almost like a pseudo-folk hero type character. He's kind of got a lot in common with Grombrindal, in some ways, in that he's more than he appears to be. So I would have him kind of center around, like, resurrecting that kind of lost ancient tech. And then from there, I would also... so for him, I would do rune golems. Rune golems. The Shard Dragon. And Doom Seekers. Those would be the units I would put with him. Take it up here. So those would be the units. And I would also have him come with the Dragon Slayer and Demon Slayer. So Demon Slayer Lord, Dragon Slayer Hero would be my picks for that. So that's everything I would put with Joseph Bugman. I would have preferred putting those things with Thoric Ironbrow, but Games Workshop or Creative Assembly jumped the gun on Thoric, in my opinion. Like Thoric was great, a great addition to the game, but I would have. There are some better. He's a little messy for a single player option, or for a free LC option. Then after that, I would have, and then I would do a engineering DLC, and the engineering DLC would focus around. So you'd have Grim Burlickson as the legendary lord, and then I would do for the units the Thunder Barge. The Thunder Barge would be the big bad thing in the DLC. And then for the bonus units, I would do a, I would do miners with steam drills, because steam drills are really, really freaking cool weapons, and I would love to see those represented in the game. And then I would probably do some kind of dwarf unit with pistols and melee weapons, because dwarf pistols are badass. And the fact that we don't have a dwarf pistol unit when a bunch of other races get pistols is bullshit. So, and then with him, I would have, for the characters, I would do a master of the, an engineer guild lord, or guilds. I forget what the word is that I came up for. I came up with a fancy title for it, but like I said, I'm running out of steam. What about Grudge Raker Thunderers? Well, the Vermintide kind of goofed on the Grudge Raker. The Grudge Raker is not a style of weapon. It is a unique weapon. Like, the Grudge Raker is not a A grudge raker is not a type of weapon. The Grudge Maker is a unique weapon that Grim Burlixon created himself. Vermintide kind of flubbed that just to give some more options. But it's it's basically a magic item. It's not like a style of weapon that you would see everywhere. So I would do a guild lord, or a guild master as the new generic lord, who would be like a big engineering focused character, who's all about buffing your ranged units, and has like either pistols or a. I don't know if I would do him with pistols or a rifle or what to do exactly with it, but you could mess around with that. And then for the generic hero to come with the engineering stuff, I would actually toss in a priestess of Valea. What are shard dragons? Shard dragons are ancient primordial subterranean lizard monsters. They're not actually dragons. They're just called dragons. Because they vaguely look draconic, but they're these big pissed off underground lizards that the ancient dwarfs learned to control because they were kind of enemies of the ancient Dawe, but the rune lords of this faraway time managed to find ways to bind them. And they captured them and put runic collars around their necks. And the runic collars allow the rune lords and the dwarves to be able to control the shard dragons, so long as they, know the proper steps. Which is actually what the Yoked Carnosaur, which is that special unit you can get as part of Thorgrim's campaign, is actually a reference to the shard dragon. But the shard dragon is from the Monstrous Arcanum. Which is the same book where we got the Necrofex that the zombie pirates have. It's the same book the Morngul comes from. It's the same book that we get the a lot of beasties have come from that. But I love the shard dragon. It is a big badass monster. It can't fly. It crawls around on the ground. But its thing is that it has like acidic blood, super really freaking hard scales. That it's one of the toughest monsters in the game, as far as just like pure defense. Which I think it would be a marvelous addition to the dwarfs, to just give them like a really big fun toy, being a big pissed off lizard monster. And the priestess of Valea. Yeah, the Priestess of Valea I equivalent with being a rune priestess. So a rune priestess of Valea, which would be a lot of fun, and I would have her be able to do really cool things like I would have her do really cool stuff like be able to cast like put you can fit in a lot of really interesting references and develop a lot of that information. But if you wanted to know my opinion, that's my opinion. Dwarves think a pony's untrustable, but could trust a rune on a monster wouldn't break. Dwarves always trust their runes. Can rune priestesses heal? Yes. Yes, they can. Find me a dwarf that doesn't trust in runes. They don't exist. Actually really enjoyed it. So they ride ponies if you put runic saddles on them? No, you would have to use runic collars. But the problem with using like stuff like runic collars is you'd have to have the proper runes of binding, and it takes a ton of effort. Creating runes is not a casual thing. Like, you don't just frivolously like, oh, I'll just make some runes. Like, it is an extremely difficult and complicated process. It's not something that just happens. That's a complete myth. So the idea that they would like just, oh well, why don't they just make runes for ponies? Like, good luck convincing a rune lord that that would be worth their time. Especially when they say, why can't you just, because dwarves do use ponies in their society. Like, they do use ponies to like pull things and help assist, and they farm goats on the mountainsides and all this stuff. They just don't trust them in the heat of battle. And they would never ride one. And like, the shard dragon is not a ridden monster. It is a creature that the dwarves were able to bind to them, but it was a crazy feat. Hey, the narrator, what's up, dude?
150.
Welcome to the stream.
I'm very late for the great plan.
You need another master to make more than one? What, a shard dragon? The thing, no, you would not need a rune master to bind a shard dragon. You would need to rediscover how to control the runes that bind the shard dragons, and you would need the winds of magic blowing strongly enough to allow you to activate those runes. But based on everything else that's been happening in Total War Warhammer, there's enough crazy shit going on that's really not a huge deal. there's a lot of crazy shit going on in Total War Warhammer as far as like things that would be allowed by the winds of magic. Like shit's cray out there. Shit's cray cray.
So long.
Like Total War Warhammer is practically in an end times class scenario because of the big beasties that, like, if there are Dread Saurians and Necrolith Colossi rolling around, like there's plenty of magic for the shard dragons to be brought back. The dragon dungeon orb that looks like a black hole with the green aura and the 4 power. What? Oh, narrator. What? What are you talking about, narrator? I missed the context. What are we talking about?
Open up.
What are you?
I'd like to sell this man some fur. I've got way too many pelts on me. Getting me down. Especially these 8 white wolf hides. Good lord. Oh. Very quickly running out of money. Why is everyone poor?
See you.
Yeah, and the dwarves have used the shard dragons before. That's the thing. Like, dwarves using shard dragons isn't some, like, crazy new technology. They've already done it in the ancient lore. Like, it's already something they've done before. They've used shard dragons in battles.
How'd you discover it was a city corridor? I serve the eternal fire.
If there's enough magic in the air for the rune golems to be actually working and moving around, there's enough magic to sustain, or to reactivate the runic collars and bring the shard dragons back under control. And boy, would that spice up the dwarf roster. What? Oh, this is not where I wanted to be. Any stories with Dread Saurians? No. The Dread Saurians from the Monsters Arcanum, so it's a self-contained thing. The Monsters Arcanum introduced a lot of the big beasties that we have in Total War Warhammer, as well as just the world. But the downside about it is the Monstrous Arcanum is kind of like a self-contained story. A lot of things that happen in the Monstrous Arcanum don't ever happen outside of it. So, like, the Dread Saurian doesn't exist outside the Monstrous Arcanum. Same thing for literally everything else that's inside of it.
Welcome.
Like, nothing in the Monstrous Arcanum exists outside of the Monstrous Arcanum. But Creative Assembly has been using the Monstrous Arcanum, like Creative Assembly uses it a lot. So it's a very reliable source of canon.
Ah, you're back.
Let's see these.
Alright, let's sell some books that I don't need. This guy will literally buy any of this junk. Like, Brood Horrors, Monstrous Arcanum. Practically the entirety of the Vampire Coast roster, Monstrous Arcanum. Dread Saurians, Monstrous Arcanum. Like, treating the Monstrous Arcanum like it's different from the army books is absolutely ridiculous at this point. Like, it's equally as important as the army books are. So is the Storm of Magic. I'm not gonna sell him individual stuff anymore. We'll just sell the things we have multiple copies of. I always feel bad about selling stuff that, like, I never know when this could be helpful. Wow, Gnomish Prankings is worth a lot. Copy. My goodness. Also, this guy has like a hilarious amount of money. Have they used units in the Storm of Chaos? Yeah, they've used factions from the Storm of Chaos. I don't know if they've used any specific units. I'm trying to think. Oh, he buys skins. Yeah.
Farewell.
The only... I can't think of any units they've used from the Storm of Chaos. Like, they've used some ideas from the Storm of Chaos. Like, the concept of Morathy being, like, a Chaos cult, or... Morathy being the cult of pleasure, like she is in Total War Warhammer, is from the Storm of Chaos. Grimgor's Ard Boys as a faction from the Storm... Oh! Yes! Yes, there is. The Clan Eshin stuff. All of the Clan Eshin editions that came with Deathmaster Stitch are from the Storm of Chaos. Yes, they have used Storm of Chaos. Let's see. What other Novigrad quests do they? Chat, can we do Redania's Most Wanted yet? I want to. I know some people wanted me to wait on that. All the griffins. All the upgrade stuff for our current armor.
I believe I ate something terrible.
I also need to start knocking out all the question marks in Novigrad, because we can now. I guess we could head like out here and just start knocking out all these question marks. Head out to like the lighthouse and go from here. Actually, it'd probably be better to go. Well, yeah. Probably go get this boat. Make life a little easier. Do I know of any good old world books based on chaos cults? I mean, chaos cults play a pretty prominent role in a number of stories. Trying to think of any like really standout ones. Bruner the Bounty Hunter has some really interesting stories involving chaos cults. There's also the Swords of the Emperor. The Swords, what is that series called? Yeah, Swords of the Emperor by Chris Wright. Chris Wright? I think it's Chris Wright. Very, very good chaos cult storyline. That also is like heavily revolving around the Empire. Really good read. Trying to think of any other books that stand out in my memory for chaos cults. Those are the biggest ones that come to mind. Hopefully that gives you something to look at. Heroes of the Empire Omnibus has the Swords of the Emperor books in them. There you go. You could pick up the Heroes of the Empire Omnibus if you wanted. Get me that treasure, treasure, treasure. Ah, smuggler's cash. Charlie the Turtle, people kept saying that they wanted me to unlock some kind of dialogue with Dijkstra about Philippa. Like, we talked to Dijkstra about Philippa, but they were like, oh, he has some kind of like unique dialogue that we couldn't get until like something specific happened. So they claim, but like I'm getting kind of tired of waiting on it, to be honest. Oh, yes, the narrator, what about it? What, do you have a question about it? Or do you just... I'm gonna refund you your points. Yeah, what about it? It's literally just a, who would you consider more dangerous? Thankful with the power of Calidor... I'm sorry, what? Thankful with the power of Calidor or Queek with the power of Anarian? I think Queek with the power of Anarian would probably be a more concerning thing, to be honest. Because Queek is already, like... Queek's already at that level of scary where... he is super duper spooky. What is it? It's a magical bubble that's containing Kaithenhar. Or Scythenhar, I forget how you pronounce it. But Kaiden Har, the dragon, he's contained within that bubble. So the whole thing is that you're supposed to kill all the shamans who are conjuring it because they're trying to keep Scythen Har inside of it and corrupt him. And make him into a chaos dragon. Alright, Captain's log. Left Novigrad, heading south to Brimabord. All's calm. Arrived in Brimabord. Ports full, 4 hulks, 6 cogs, 1 karak, and nigh on a dozen longships. Strange. Here half the longships carry privateers in the Empire's employ. Now what's old Nilfgaard want a pirate fleet for, and why she anchored in Brimabord? Done loading all passengers on board. We're leaving Brimabord, course set for Novigrad. Strange. A mage paid through the nose to share a cabin with the Witcher. Freaks are drawn to each other, it seems. The Witcher's a real treasure. It's not just about monsters. Even customs officers are more civil with keying around. And they aren't as annoyingly scrupulous as usual. Seems the legends surrounding our Witcher have curtailed their zeal. Pressure's falling rapidly. Winds change directions. Could use that mage now. One that followed the Witcher like a shadow, but the two of them are nowhere to be found. Cowards. Boatswain says he heard a terrible ruckus in the Witcher's cabin this morning, with bright flashes coming out from under the door. Been quiet since, must investigate. The cabin's empty. Can't search the ship now. Need to reef the sails. Won't make it to port. Must stay out at sea. We'll raise this stay sails and hope the gods watch over us from there. And they all died. Now to see what killed them. Oh, it's a basilisk. Delightful. Oh, bull. These are that Braconid oil. Will I make an in-depth video on AOS after finishing Fantasy? It won't be after I finish Fantasy, because I don't think I'll ever finish Fantasy. There will always be more to talk about, especially with the setting coming back. But I will be talking about AOS as well as Fantasy. After I finish Queek. Once Queek's done, then stuff will start opening up. But I am determined to get Queek finished first. Supposedly. Or something. Talon's barely hurt. Yeah, this thing's pretty... Activate level scaling? I think we will, actually, next stream. Because we're kind of to that point where we're so over-leveled that anything just kind of, like, looks at us. It's just like... Are you asking me if I would ever get into 40k lore? The answer is no. I would not. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, 40k has some good stuff going for it, but I don't think 40k is ever going to change. Space Marines are where the money is, which is it's really unfortunate for 40k as a universe, because it means that it's always going to have stunted growth, in my opinion. Because if the Space Marines are, like, because the Space Marines are so important and they're the main characters and everyone's so heavily invested in them, the story's just never going to advance in a meaningful way, in my opinion. I don't think you're ever going to see, like, major Space Marine characters die, or, like, massive battles happen where, like, important planets are destroyed or taken over by an enemy force, and, like, the situation majorly changes. I feel like 40k is permanently stuck, and it is a stunted universe that will never grow, despite all of its attempts to do so. Maybe I'll be wrong about that one day, but also the thing is that 40k is grossly oversaturated with content creators. What about the Great Rift in Gulliman? It didn't really change the setting that much. Like, Cadia fell, but there's still Cadians, And Cadia wasn't, like, taken over by chaos. They just blew it up. And, like, the Great Rift is there, yeah, I guess, but, like, the Empire, the Imperium is still the Imperium. The Space Marines are still winning every battle. Like, if Games Workshop had wanted to impress me, they should have allowed the Tyranids and Khorne to wipe out Baal. If Baal had fallen, like, sure, let the Blood Angels, like most of them die, but a few, like, enough of them to keep it playable, escape and run away, right? And regroup somewhere else. If Baal had fallen, I would have been like, holy shit, like, this is getting really interesting. But not a single one of those planets will ever fall. Never. Ever, 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 ever. Never gonna happen. And that's boring. Yeah, Dante should have died. Especially if they're not gonna, like, do anything with him. Like they're making him this big deal on that side of the rift, but he doesn't do anything. But, like, the fact that the Blood Angels were saved by Kabanda just being, like, a raging dickhead, the Tyranids for some reason, and not killing his ultimate rivals or taking advantage of the situation to attack both sides, he only attacked the Tyranids. Idiot storyline. I hated that storyline. Blood of Baal was a massive disappointment. Alright, anyway. Collect the goods from the same crate as usual. If you get it to the drop-off on time, we'll get the full sum we agreed to. If you get it there no later than a week after we agreed, half later than a week, you're dead. P.S. Don't want any witnesses. If someone notices you, kill them first. Ask questions later. Very rude. Plus, how long has it been since since Girly Man came back? Guilliman's been back for... He came back at the start of 8th edition, right? And they still haven't done anything? Like, no more Primarchs have come out. He fought Mortarion, but it was like a vague stalemate? Or Mortarion won and then some random nonsense happened or something? Like, it feels like a lot of their big releases happened in 8th edition, and they haven't done anything since. Like, there's been no new Demon Primarchs, there's been no new regular Primarchs. There's been a couple of slap fights. Teehee. Moderately painful. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, like, just, like, be like, oh, Vardakai's terrible. I'm like, if you're wondering why I don't get invested in it, that's why. Oh, sorry, Tactical Sign. If the Horned Rat devoured more Slip, how much stronger would it get? Well, I don't even know how that would be possible. But, like, there are so many assumptions in that statement that would be bigger problems, to be honest. Like, just if the Great Horned Rat got the ability to manifest himself in the physical plane to the extent where he could start eating things, everybody's already fucked. Like, it's already game over, man. Like, there's no coming back from that. If the Great Horned Rat is manifesting to that extreme, everybody's already dead. Because that, I mean, he's still a god. There's no fighting the Great Horned Rat. That's not an option. Like, if he comes back to that extent, you lost. You're deceased. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you can move on with your day. Oh, there's my treasure. Okay, cool. Ugh. No, Mornington, I literally don't have the time, dude. Like, Age of Sigmar is releasing books literally faster than I can read them. And that's already on top of all the research and endless stuff that I have to do for fantasy. Like, there is no reality where I have the time to also learn 40k lore on top of all my fantasy lore. Like, that is just not an option. Like, I just don't have the time, dude. Like, if you like it, that's cool, that's great, that's awesome for you, but, like, it's not for me, and I do not have the time. Terribly sorry. Did I like the Netflix adaptation of The Witcher? I loved it. I thought it was great. I really like Henry Cavill, and I thought he did a great job as Geralt. And I found the story really fun. And I'm really excited for the next season. Ah. Oh, bandits. Well, if y'all are bandits, that means I can rob your ship and I'm a good guy still, right? I'm a good guy! Just doing good guy things. That's right. I'm not doing anything bad. I'm not breaking the law. These are bandits. And everybody knows that stealing from stealers is morally good.
Gonna kill you.
Oh, hello. I don't know where you came from, but more loot for me. I'm a hero! Alright. We can do that Philippa quest. That thing is bothering me. So we will deal with Philippa and finish Novigrad next time. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all had a good time. I had a great time. Thank you to everyone for watching and for all the bits and for anyone that subbed and all that stuff. I am super tired. I am so tired. I was busy. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciated it. Real quick, chat, I do have a really important announcement. I do. I have a very important announcement. So hold on a second. Something I need to tell you all is that I need you to know, and it's very important for you to know, that you're wonderful. You are. And I hope you're doing okay, wherever you may be in the world. Stay safe. Take care of yourself, because you deserve to take care of yourself. Treat yourself with respect, because if you don't, then how can you expect anyone else to, right? So, I hope you're all okay, wherever you may be in the world. I love your faces. I hope you're doing well. I do. I really appreciate you all being here. It is a privilege and an honor to get to hang out with you guys. And I hope I get to continue to have that privilege going forward in the future. I love all your faces. Y'all are wonderful, beautiful people. And I hope you realize that.